Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me. It's been really interesting to kind of I guess bring GoBrunch front and center, I guess, into my strategy. So, I've got an interesting background. I'm a from a long time ago. I used to be a computer games programmer. Started a business in online recruitment. I did very well over 20 something years. I moved into coaching, and now I work mainly or almost exclusively, really, with ADHD people. So it's all about productivity and focus, and how to build a business whilst being an ADHD person, how to grow and scale and all of that kind of stuff. And GoBrunch has really fitted well into that strategy. Yeah, so one of my kind of entrepreneur friends who is also kind of looking at scaling their business and thinking how can I run business a little differently, actually mentioned GoBrunch to me, and I had a quick look at it, and I was like, is this the answer to all of my dreams? Um, and I started looking at YouTube videos about it. I have a tendency to go really kind of deep into something, whatever it is I'm gonna look at and buy. And from what I was seeing, there were so many fascinating ways to use it, and my mind suddenly geeked out on thousands of different ways to kind of use it. And I was watching the videos that you guys have produced and things, and I was just my jaw was like on the floor. And it felt really like a big moment for me, because ADHD, entrepreneurs do struggle a lot with, accountability, often need body doubling, co-working, whatever it is to really get going. But also I could see the idea of this almost like virtual office that, would give you an opportunity to work from in a new way. So many of us work from home these days, and it can be very costly to work every day at a cafe or an actual co-working space. So I really loved the idea, and the creativity that I could see from some of the rooms was really exciting. The way that you could set them up like a coffee shop or something like that. It really really interested in me and took my imagination. Yeah, Go Brunch to me is a creator's dream. It's a platform that you can go and make anything you want in so many ways, like the internet itself was. Click link, go to a new page. It's click link, go to a new room. We can make those rooms whatever we want to make them. We can design them however we want to design them and make them work however we want to make them work. So, yeah, from my point of view, it blew my creative mind, and I was really excited when I started working with it. Sure. Yeah. So this is fidgetpreneurs. So hopefully you can see that. I think you can probably make it a little larger at your side if you can't. Oh, fantastic. So the idea with fidgetpreneurs was that ADHD entrepreneurs obviously fidget around a little bit. This is a key element for us as entrepreneurs, and I decided that for me, one of the real changes that we could start to make is to use AI. So throughout my space, there are AI coaches that are designed using my systems to help ADHD people, focus in on things. So this particular, entry hall AI is designed to help you choose one thing, the one thing that's most important for you to do that day. So you go and put in how you're feeling, I'm tired, and the AI will start to react to you. So it's almost like a living workbook. It's using my systems, but the workbook responds to you in a way that's real. And it's suggesting here, I might have a quick stretch break. Now let's pinpoint your focus for today. What's the single most important, impactful thing to do? Record the GoBrunch YouTube live. And I could have put that into a workbook, but this is now going to highlight that. So given that you're feeling tired, how do you think your energy level aligns with the recording today? Would it be best to schedule it from new time, another time? So it's responding to me as a person, rather than just saying, well, this is what I'm going to do. It's like, well, maybe it's not the best thing for you to do today, although I'm actually not feeling tired. I'm feeling very energized. So that's my kind of starting point, and then you can go off into the lobby. The lobby is where the main zones are. So there's a feedback area here to give me some feedback, but the key areas really are the work zone, the community zone, the growth zone, the recovery zone, and the business zone. So they all have their own functions. And here there's any events which we might have on. There would typically be some events there, and also a video, which is a how to use video that I recorded. So it's right there in front of you. And this is one of the things that I love so much about GoBrunch, because I don't need a thing called an onboarding process or something, which can be boring and feel very mundane. It's literally, there's the video there, and if you don't get through it all in one go, you can watch a little bit more of it later. Yeah, the lobby area. I don't actually have a link back to it at the moment. It's something I haven't done. It's fine. I'll go and reload. We're good. Hey, and welcome to Fidgetpreneurs. If you're new here, I'm Phil Drinkwater. I'm a ADHD business coach. I spend a lot of time speaking to people like you and yeah, yeah, and the same with the AI as well. So it's really simple. So there's a surround on it, that's just designed into the background, in the correct place. I used, Photoshop to take my original background file and add a kind of a sort of background, illuminated, sort of TV screen kind of, feel. And it's exactly it. The key thing for me is that, certainly from an ADHD perspective, you just want simple instructions. I've never read an instruction manual in my life. I can't get through them. So if you just So if you just expose things to people slowly over time, it makes things really easy for them to just move forwards. What's the next step? Oh, I just follow that. It brings- Yeah, so plenty. A lot. Let's just say a lot. Yeah, and I think, also, eventually as people got, more advanced with the platform, they got more used to it, they probably would use the all rooms and go, where to directly to where they want to get to. But there's certainly a requirement to do because, this is designed as a mini office. Like, you're going to the next place that you need to go to. It's different. So this is the walkthrough. It's a bit longer. So the other one's like a minute and a half, I think, or 2 minutes. This one's a bit longer. It talks you through and gives you your first steps. So I still have a little bit of work to do on some of the onboarding stuff. I want to provide them with a bit more of a video series, I guess. But that's still, to come. And again, one of the great things about, GoBrunch is just like an internet page. You can just upgrade it as you go over time. I think there's 30, 40, something like that. Haven't counted. My favorite room actually is probably, yeah, probably in the community zone. And this is just, me as a person basically. This is not all. There's a few rooms I'm still going to be doing, but I decided to make a pool area that people could come to and chat. Because one of the things that always makes me feel good as a person is seeing this kind of turquoise blue water and just really nice kind of lighting and things like that. So this is just one of the sort of chat areas, I guess, come in and converse with your fellow fidgetpreneurs. Yeah, I love this room just because, it reminds me of being on holiday. It's definitely going to happen at some point. It's definitely going to happen. I know that, there's lots of kind of animations and things. I do have like an animated fire in one place, but yeah, it's a to me, it just makes me feel good looking at something like that. Um, yeah. Yeah, and it's great, you get to use your creative mind to go and create whatever it is that you want to create. That's really, the exciting thing for me with GoBrunch. This was all created, I think the whole thing was done in about, I don't know, like 3 weeks or something like that, including all the AIs and things. So there's a lot in here, but, you can actually create a huge amount in a relatively short amount of time. Yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah. Um, I guess, I mean, the probably the most key area really for fidgetpreneurs is the kind of work area. So it's where you come to get your work done. There's 2 different types of rooms. There's the group focus rooms and the solo focus rooms. They have different types of, Pomodoros. So I actually went and, created my own Pomodoros. The group focus rooms have, a an internationally synchronized time. So everyone's on the same time. So you're all on 25/5. So if you were to come to this room, it would also say you're 4 minutes into the break. So the idea with this is that, you're all on the same schedule, and at the end, you can put your camera and mic on, in the green bit. You can put your camera and mic on and say, "What is it you're doing and how are you getting on?" and things. So get a little bit of interaction. Um, the the opposite of that is the solo focus rooms, where you can, for example, go to, say the forest room or something, and you can go and create your own Pomodoro. So you can choose 50, 25, 15, or 5 minutes, Pomodoro. So like a 5 minute one or something like that. If you want to get a few bits and pieces done, which is really useful. So yeah, that's kind of I guess a key area really for me. Um, and also the public accountability. So, when you come into these areas, post in the chat what it is that you're doing, what you're working on. I've also got yeah. Exactly, and, it feels good to know that, other people are doing their work and, a lot of, people who've been kind of, beta testing it and stuff, they've got more done in, like, a couple of days than they have in an entire month just by posting what they're going to be doing in that time and using, a Pomodoro or something. Um, I also have an anti-procrastinator AI, which again is another one of my systems, the way that I work as a coach. So, if you're struggling with something, it helps you break it down into tiny bits. And again, it knows what it is you're trying to achieve. It understands if you're trying to send a newsletter out, what the steps are for that. So yeah, it's really, it can be really helpful for people. Yeah. You can, and that's exactly the point. So you work however you want. And on Monday, you might want to work one way. On Tuesday, you might be doing tasks that are another way. So there's like a bits and pieces room here, which is supposed to be for like 5 to 10 minutes tasks. There's an on your business room, come in here, um, 2 to 4 hours a week. There's a marketing and sales room if you want to go in there and feel like you're doing marketing and sales. There's even, a minimalist room, which is designed to feel very minimalist. So there's nothing really in here. It's yeah, there's no distraction. It's like, I don't want to distract myself. And this is one of the great things about, Go Brunch because the environment sets you up for whatever it is that you're trying to do. Yeah, and this is, the key thing, and it might be different for you tomorrow compared with today, and so you get to choose. And one of the things that's really important for me, from an ADHD coaching perspective, is validating yourself and your own experience, and accepting that that might be different tomorrow to today. You might have more focus tomorrow, so it's why the first question you get asked is, "How's your energy today?" When you come into the lobby, you're starting immediately with this thing of, well, that's a good question. How is my energy today? How do I feel? What would be a good use of my time today? What would, if I'm feeling really scatty and a bit all over the place, going and doing some admin might be a great thing, but it might also be a really terrible thing. It might be much better for me to do some, say, creative tasks that day. So you get to choose, and you validate yourself by going into the rooms and learning about yourself, and understanding what's best for you in those individual moments. Yeah. um I think there's a real opportunity for a new type of body doubling, I guess. um Co-working, body doubling, these group focus rooms that I'm creating. um if From my perspective, I think it could go quite large. I think, many hundreds, of people, could be engaged within here. And I've even thought, one of the things that I might do is, in order to kind of separate people out a little bit, so they're not all feeling like they're crowded in one area almost. It's like, well, the first thing you do is to choose the area you want to go into. Like, do you want to go into the introvert area? Do you want to go into the extrovert area? Do you want to go into the fantasy area? Do you want to go into the sci-fi area? So, you might want to do one thing one day, or another thing another day. You might want to go into the forest area one day, or the Moroccan area. I don't know. whatever suits you. So, one of the early, opportunities, I think, if it grows, is to offer those kind of options. So, your first starting point is, go choose the zone that you want to be in, and then go and create, and I'll go and create environments which are a little bit more aligned with, how you're feeling that day, and that'll naturally move people around. So yeah, I think, that one of the great things with GoBrunch is it is very scalable. However you want to run your business, wherever you want to get it to, I think it's more than achievable. Whether you want to have, 10 people in a close knit community, or 2,000 people, all working, together. Yeah, I think it works. Yeah. Yeah. It could. I mean, sometimes I'll work at, very odd times. And I think, another thing, just going back on the AI front for a second, as another kind of opportunity for people. I have a bunch of AIs that do a bunch of different things. For example, one which helps you build a plan from your chaos. So if you're feeling chaotic, come in here. It's a nice room. It's got a nice sense to it, and you dump everything in your scattered brain, and we'll work it out together. So, ask you a few questions, and off you go. You leave that area then more comfortable than you previously were feeling. So, the opportunity, both in terms of personal engagement, as in, coming into rooms and kind of talking to people, and also because we have these, embeds, putting anything in the room that you happen to want to, I think is just, it's just amazingly helpful. I have like a journaling area, which is, again, has got an AI in there, which helps you to go and build journaling prompts. You put in what you're struggling with, answer a few questions, and it builds you some prompted journaling questions. Because ADHD people, do very well with prompted journaling, but having a blank sheet of paper and saying write about something is just, it really is so incredibly difficult. And so, all of these opportunities that we have, I think as time goes on, I'll also have a lot more um, events running and things. So that's something that's going to, start to come online. So, specific events, specific challenges. So like, 7-day challenges, 14-day challenges, maybe a 14-day challenge, to reduce your people pleasing or something like that, because that hits a lot of ADHD business owners hugely. Um, yeah, absolutely. So many of us, so, these become really great opportunities to have a really nice sectioned off space. So you go and create a people pleasing area where you go through a series of rooms. Maybe they get unlocked over, a number of days or something like that. Part of the challenge or something. It just gives us so much chance and opportunity. You know, I had exactly the same thought. I was like, "I really, really wish that, I had this years ago." So, I a working on the business room, which is, it's the thing that people do so little but need so much. And my view is, 2 to 4 hours a week, you should be working on your business. So I've got a little video here. You can download my, free profit and loss, spreadsheet. So it's designed to be dead easy. But also there's this PDF, which I'm hosting, where you can just go through, and this is a brief guide to working on your business, what is working on versus working in, because a lot of people don't really know what's included, what are the things that you should be doing, how to decide what to work on, what's a business strategy, etc., etc. And at the end, a link to a list of links to a bunch of Miro boards, as you pointed out. I think this is a PDF embed and that one's a Canva embed. I think I did this one as a PDF, but, I wouldn't quote me on that. I'm fairly sure it is. But yeah, basically, you can just then open up this and then say, "Oh, well, strengths-led business growth. I'm interested in that this week. I'll go and click on that one and see what I can learn from it." Slowly over time, you can learn more and more. New window. Yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, it should be within the next couple of weeks. So, very soon. I think we can get access to the amount of time people have spent in individual rooms, can't we, in the kind of back end admin. So we can get a feel for, who's using what and who's liking what. Yeah, exactly. That's great. Yeah, because from an entrepreneurship perspective, the early days of being in business is all about change. You're bouncing around trying to make one thing work is a phrase that I use quite often, and I don't think that where I am today is going to be exactly where I'm going to be in 6 months' time. I won't have got everything right in one go. So having the ability to change things is really important. People might say to me, "Do you know this on the business room? It's too busy. When I'm working on my business, I want to have nothing on the walls." Right, great, okay. I can fix that in probably 10 minutes. Go and create a new background, and off we go. We'll be on to the next. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. And I think this is, the most exciting thing about it. It is a completely free form process, just like the internet was, and web pages. And look where we've ended up with that. So many people doing so many amazing things, and certainly, from what I've seen about, in the weekly waffles, it's been incredible, to see some of the things that people are doing. Hmm. I mean, it probably is the fact that it's so freeform. That's the most exciting thing. But the thing that drew me to it initially actually was the little circle cameras and where you were kind of sat on a seat. I'm sat on the seat. That I blew my mind when I first saw a picture of someone. I think I remember seeing someone's theater, which had 30 or 40 seats, around this theater, and seeing all of these, these faces or spaces in the seats in the theater, that absolutely blew my mind. I was utterly blown away by that. Yeah, and I suppose the freedom that, GoBrunch gives you, it's not prescriptive, as in it's not you shall always be able to talk in the rooms. There's none of that at all. You get to choose how each individual room or your entire space works if you want to. And that's one of its greatest strengths, I would say, because you then can see how you might use it individually, just you. It's not, everyone else and how they're using it. Is you and what works for your audience. And yeah, it's great for this kind of community build stuff. This is the thing that's going to be most exciting for me, actually. Obviously, and I'm really excited about launching this as kind of co-working and body doubling and stuff, but also being able to engage and interact with people. It's going to be fantastic. I'll be working from here when I can. I'll be in the rooms. You can chat to me. I'm going to be here and doing the same as everyone else. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is really interesting. As I said, for me, the first version of this that I created, which was basically just like a test version, back in, I think it was October, just to kind of play around with it. Someone was using that for a number of days, and they got so much done that they wouldn't have got done, and there was no one else in there at all. It was just them at that time, and they managed to, as I say, complete like a month's worth of work in a couple of days or something, just by keeping going through this process. And it does promote productivity, which is, why, as I say, for my audience, I spotted immediately all of this opportunity to use kind of visual priming, I guess, to encourage you to go and do the things that you might otherwise be, not doing. Go into the room, the bits and pieces room. Oh yeah, I've got bits and pieces to. I'll go into the bits and pieces room. I've got a recovery zone with different kind of, areas you can play different music, or go and sit on the beach or whatever it is, so it primes you to go and take recovery time, because it's so important for ADHD and autistic people to take some time off. Our brains can run very hot, and we need, those kind of breaks. So yeah, it's almost like a dream solution. um Out of the business. So this is my kind of next element, I guess, of what I'm going to be working on. I have this year. I'm going to be looking a lot at energy management for ADHD and autistic people. I think I have some very interesting things to share on that I've learned from certainly the last couple of years. Um, Around GoBrunch itself, I'm excited to join the more kind of advanced, community that, that works on, and I forget the name now. That's the one, Brand Checkers. So I think the view was, hopefully I'll, be in there in kind of February or something like that. I've got some really interesting ideas on the ways that I can use this in new ways. And we have very creative brains, and when given problems, we tend to solve things. So this gives me the opportunity to go and do that. Yeah, yeah, and it's nice and easy. That's the thing that's so good. It's easy. Sorry. No, so I got literally about 2 days after ChatGPT first launched, I got into ChatGPT, and, for the last few years, I've increased my use of AI, and I have, good strategies for, building prompts and things these days. But no, it wasn't I haven't really had a lot to do with actual chat bots. It was very new. I have some programming background, but I don't think you even need any of that to make, pickaxe and GoBrunch work together. It's easy stuff. You can put it together in a day or two. So yeah, it's been fantastic. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and it's been a really good community. It's hard to build communities, but GoBrunch does make it a lot easier. And the passion around the table or virtual table is really obvious. This is a group of creators who really see opportunities, and exciting ways, to go and use the technology. This is a platform that is as open, as I was saying, as web pages were back in the day. This gives creators the opportunity to go and do something that really sets them alight, their passions. Yeah, it is, and freedom's a big goal or need for ADHD entrepreneurs, but at the same time, it is nice to be able to pop in somewhere that you feel like you belong. You feel like people know your name. They want to know about you and your business. They want to know, what's going on. Because for many of us, our businesses are a real passion and something that we get a lot of our purpose needs met for or by. So yeah, it is nice to have that space where you can come back to, and you might be in an entirely different country next week, and something's still going to feel like it normally does. Agreed. It's a fantastic and really valuable platform for that kind of side of working. Pleasure. Thank you so much. And yeah, I hope it's been interesting. Certainly for me, as I say, GoBrunch has been a dream platform, and I'm really looking forward to the next 6 months.